All right. So let's say that we are on board with this concept that I want to have greater well-being and that I believe that that is possible by integrating these different aspects of myself, that I want to bring all parts of myself into greater wholeness and that I'll flourish and I'll thrive and I will live a happier and more successful life this way. Let's take that concept down a couple of levels into more practical translation into what does that actually look like. Fortunately for us, the field of developmental science today has conducted significant research on these same questions across segments of neurobiology, looking to fields of developmental psychology and positive psychology. Today, there are actually hundreds of studies globally to draw from that point to evidence-based practices that do in fact lead to greater well-being. We have tried to translate these into very accessible attributes that describe the mindset or the view of someone who is actually embodying these beliefs. We've called these attributes dispositions. And dispositions for us simply mean this is a way of being in the world. It's more than just a way of thinking or acting. It's actually more of the ethos of how you show up in the world, how other people might describe you and your presence when you're with them. These are, by the way, ideal dispositions, meaning they're aspirational. None of us are able to embody all of these all of the time. We're very messy human beings, each one of us in our process. But we do believe that it's worth spending significant energy developing these attributes in yourself, both for your own enjoyment of a full life and for the ability to bring full presence and well-being into the classroom. So let's take a look at these 10 ideal dispositions and orient them for you, consistent with the model that we've just introduced. In the beginning, where you see the center of the circle and the integration of your inner self and your outer life, we believe that there are two ideal dispositions that are important to realize here. The first one we call realize your unique potential. Our belief is that within each one of us lies our unique true nature. This is something like an inner flame or a light that is aching to express itself in service to everyone. This expression is something that takes on the form of a journey. And through this journey, we believe it's important that we flourish, that we thrive, and that we enjoy the adventure. And so the first objective is simply to reconnect with your own internal unlimited potential. And what is that essence or that part of you that you want to bring out fully into the world that maybe you haven't quite tapped into? Second, the process for this is by bringing your whole self. Well-being emerges from wholeness, and wholeness arises through the integration of the mind, the heart, the body, and the spirit. So it's important that you begin to notice the roles that you play, the personas that you might wear, the stories in your head, all the different parts of yourself that you might have fragmented off and might be afraid to show. How do you begin to heal those and bring those back into your integrated presence so that you can show up with full confidence and access to all the capacities that you have? Moving then to the spirit domain, where we practice awareness and presence, we believe that there are two fundamental dispositions here as well. The first we call anchor and stillness. Anchoring and stillness is about acknowledging that there is more going on than what you and I can see. It's this time that we take to exhale, settle in, open our senses to wonder, lean into the unknown, embrace paradox, and relax into the present moment. This is letting go of all the things in your head and the to-do list and the expectations and the outcomes and just settle in and be still and be present. Allow life's answers, the really important ones, to emerge from this inner stillness as opposed to from your busy mind. Then from this place of stillness, see if you can notice the interconnection of all things. Everything in the world is interdependent. Recognize the ways that each of us affects another, how our actions all influence another action. We're not as different as we may seem. This is an opportunity to stop and dissolve the illusion of separateness. The division is unhealthy for all of us. Instead, see the whole and see your place in it. Much like waves within an ocean, we are a bit of both. And so this disposition is about stopping and recognizing and seeing the interconnection between ourselves and others. Fifth, move from a place from mindful presence and connect through the heart. How you show up really matters. So seek understanding first. Take time to listen deeply to others. Not just what they're saying, but listen with your heart, listen with your mind, listen with your intuition. Listen deeply to what they're trying to convey. See the essence of others, not just the superficial package, and assume that they are coming from a positive intent. Observe your own thoughts and feelings and sensations and intuition, and notice and suspend any judgment that may arise. So this is about really engaging with empathy and connecting with the other person. 6, from this place, now practice compassion. And compassion is different from empathy. Compassion requires action. So strive to recognize and alleviate the suffering, both in yourself and in others. Healing begins when we accept our common humanness, and it expands when we respond with kindness. 7, be authentically curious. In truth, we must admit that we know a lot less than we think we do. So instead of fixing or blaming or rescuing or needing to be right or jumping to conclusions, when you're engaged with another person or with yourself and your own thinking through a situation, instead bring a sense of wonder, a sense of discovery and curiosity. Respond by asking honest, open questions instead of giving your answer, your advice, or your opinion. Notice the patterns that emerge in your beliefs and others, and behaviors, and even complex systems. If we're authentically curious, we're really asking questions where we're not anticipating what the answer might be. And from this place of curiosity, we can better understand what's going on, both within ourselves and with others. Next, it's time now to integrate these diverse perspectives. We are each limited by our own experiences. We are products of the world we lived in, the culture we've seen, the experiences that we've had, and they have helped shape and form our own worldviews. So begin by simply acknowledging what your own worldview is, and then you can proactively expand it to include others. In fact, we should seek diverse experiences and relationships proactively. Integrate multiple perspectives. Try to hold multiple views, not just a limited, narrow view of how you see the world. And within all of this, make room for others. Make room for their voices. Make sure that all voices are heard and considered and ultimately integrated as one shared humanity. Number 9, we aspire to live in integrity. Integrity is a matter of alignment, aligning our actions with our intentions, which makes a difference. It's important that you own your own thoughts, own your words, own your behaviors. These are yours. How you show up is observed by other people. Practice radical honesty and discretion. Visualize the change that you seek for yourself, step inside of it, and then commit. Honor the commitments, and then welcome feedback from others so that you can keep yourself on track and be honest about the progress you're making. And finally, number 10 is together we have an opportunity to manifest a greater good. In the end, we're all in this together. We must seek win-win outcomes where all beings can thrive. We have to take the time to understand the complexity of large, intricate systems. We have to anticipate their unintended consequences, and we have to act with conscious intention. We are the agents of our own change, but this requires proactive, intentional effort. And if it's not us doing the work now, in the classrooms and through our students, then how can we expect the kids to, in turn, step into their own potential to make the world a better place? So those are our ideal dispositions. You'll see these unfold in different ways over the next few years. We hope that they serve you in the same way that they've become a guidepost for us. They're not dogmatic and they're not rigid or fixed. They're not meant to be rules that you have to follow. They're meant to be inspirational and aspirational ways of being in the world.